Soul sleep is the belief that once a person dies, their soul sleeps until the resurrection. This belief is held by Seventh-day Adventists, Jehovah's Witnesses, Christadelphians, the Advent Christian Church, and several others. However, the concept of soul sleep is not biblical, and I will explain why. The resurrection has everything to do with the physical body, and not the soul. Soul sleep has its roots in biblical writings where it is said that a person has fallen asleep in death, but this is in reference to their physical bodies being asleep, not their souls. When the body dies, it sleeps, but the soul is an active life force which does not sleep. Our soul is our mind, our consciousness, our thoughts and perception. It is who we are. During the body's downtime during sleep, the mind or soul is active. And I give the example of dreams. The Bible was translated into English from more colorful languages, and there are instances where we have to be careful in the use of certain words in the English translations, as in this case. English is not as deep and rich as the languages that Scripture was originally recorded in, and the intended meaning of some words can get lost in translation. The original Greek word used for sleep is pronounced koimaho, and it is used in the Bible in two ways, actual sleep or physical death, depending on the context of the verse. In the dictionary, koimaho is defined as to lie down or to lie outstretched. Both instances in the Bible are in reference to the physical body when it sleeps or is dead, as the body is in the same position for both. In the New Testament, this word appears 18 times, and the context of these verses are either sleep or death. For example, it is used when Christ's disciples fell asleep on him in Gethsemane, and when Jesus' friend Lazarus died. They were all lying down. When a person dies, their physical body appears as though it is sleeping, but their soul has moved forward. The Apostle Paul used this word a total of 9 times between 1 Corinthians and 1 Thessalonians. Paul also gave us insight into exactly what happens upon physical death for a believer in 2 Corinthians 5, 6 through 8. So we are always confident, knowing that while we are at home in the body, we are absent from the Lord. For we walk by faith, not by sight. We are confident, yes, well pleased rather to be absent from the body and to be present with the Lord. Philippians 1:23. For I am hard pressed between the two, having a desire to depart and be with Christ, which is far better. In these examples, Paul is telling us that he desired to be with Jesus, which is far better than life on this earth. He did not say upon death he would move into soul sleep, but rather that he would be absent from the body and present with the Lord, that he would be with Jesus upon his death. This isn't just reserved for the Apostle Paul, but is applied to all believers upon their physical death. In the parable of the poor man, Lazarus, and the rich man, upon the rich man's death he found himself in Hades. His body was asleep in its grave, but his soul was consciously in the torment of hell. Across a great gulf he saw Abraham and Lazarus in paradise, and they were not sleeping either. This parable was given by Jesus Christ himself, and is explicit that the soul does not sleep upon physical death, but it moves on, either to paradise for believers or hell for unbelievers. When Jesus was on the cross, one of the 2 thieves who were crucified with him believed in him and said to Jesus, Lord, remember me when you come into your kingdom. And Jesus said to him, Assuredly, I say to you, today you will be with me in paradise. The key word in this verse is today. Upon the thief's death, he was absent from the body and present with the Lord in paradise. At the Transfiguration on the Mount, Moses and Elijah both appeared with Jesus. Moses had physically died, but Elijah had not tasted death, but he had been taken up to heaven in a whirlwind. They were both talking to Jesus about his decease, which he was about to accomplish in Jerusalem, which means that Moses' soul was quite awake, despite his physical body dying centuries earlier. The English word sleep is again found in the Old Testament, but this time the original language was Hebrew, Daniel 12:2. And many of those who sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, some to shame and everlasting contempt. The Hebrew word for sleep, pronounced yashen, means a state of rest, inactivity, to be languid, to sleep, to die. So it is similar in use to the Greek word koimaho. Ecclesiastes 12:7. Then the dust will return to the earth as it was, and the spirit will return to God who gave it. Our bodies were created by God from the dust of the earth, and upon death, the body returns to its origin, and it sleeps. For believers, our souls are absent from the body and present with the Lord, and we are quite awake. The misconception of the word sleep will have eternal consequences for some. On the surface, it can seem trivial, but I will explain why the doctrine of soul sleep has repercussions. I have seen instances where unbelievers take the word sleep literally and proclaim that when they die they will go to sleep. So why should they bother following Jesus? They say that they would rather continue on as they want in this life without Jesus, and when it's over, they can just sleep forever. One young man even casually added that he enjoys sleeping. It seems simple to them, but unfortunately this isn't how it works. And they are going to find themselves in the same predicament the rich man found himself in, and in the same place, in torment in hell until judgment day, at which point they will be cast into the lake of fire with the devil and his own forever. If they had heard the truth about their unsaved souls immediately moving into torment upon their death instead of sleep, their reaction might be different. Sleep in this context is used as a metaphor for the physical death of the body, and it does not mean that the soul sleeps. When a person dies, the soul moves on and remains conscious in one of two places, paradise or hell.